Welcome to another episode of Curtain Call Conversations. I'm here today with two of the cast of The Gathered Leaves, which is currently playing at the Park Theatre in London. How are you today?
We're good, thank you.
Very good.
Good.
Excited.
So, if you could introduce yourselves and tell us who you play in the show.
Go first.
Yeah. So my name is Taneetrah Porter and I play Aurelia in Jaya. And she is a 17-year-old biracial girl who's been brought up in France and has lived with her mother. And they've been a unit of two, kind of separated from any other family. And then we finally have a chance to reunite with a family that Aurelia's never had a chance to meet and to form family with. And it kind of follows her journey trying to enmesh herself with this very complex family.
Yeah. And yourself, Ella?
My name is Ella Dale. I play Emily Pennington. She's the cousin of Aurelia. She's 19. She's part of the kind of core Pennington family line in the sense that she's got a brother, she's got her mum and dad and her grandparents, and she's kind of grown up in this family, grown up going to the family home. And she is, when she hears that her cousin is coming over, she's incredibly excited because she feels very much like she's at the baby table. She's not taken seriously. Her brother's just come back from university and is all puffed up with all of these amazing ideas, and she feels very left behind. So then she meets Aurelia and she just finds her absolutely incredible. So it's a weekend of discovery for Emily.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. So it's been at the Park Theatre for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if we sort of go back to sort of pre the show opening, what's the rehearsal process like for the two of you? I mean, do you enjoy that process of it, or are you just kind of itching to get in front of an audience?
I enjoy the rehearsal period. I think it's always interesting when everybody's been sat with the script for a little while now, and then you finally come together in a room and you get to see everyone's ideas and interpretations and their offers, and you get to meet those characters, not just your personal interpretation, but who that person is and what they're bringing to the space. And then it helps you discover things. And there's just a lot of excitement in that room because you finally start to get a flavor of what this thing that we're all working on in this joint effort,
Yeah.
what that flavor might be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, being in a rehearsal room with like 10 other actors, all of whom are so incredible, and particularly, we've got some amazing careers in that room, and you just want to absorb everything
Oh,
from
yeah.
them. And being given such a lovely kind of classical piece of theatre that's a family drama where everyone's pretty much on stage at the same time, always interloping, like crossing over. And it's such a treat. And I think particularly the rehearsal period, the first week was quite bitty. We would kind of work on individual scenes in quite a close lens view, and we would work on those. And then when we brought them all together, it was lovely because I hadn't, for example, seen some of the scenes that T had been doing, and she hadn't seen some of the scenes I'd been doing. So when we all came together as a company, it was like, oh, it's so lovely to see all this work. And then we started to really play and create arcs between the scenes and work out how we could bring it together and make it really a tight knit
Yeah,
family
yeah.
drama.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, you mentioned sort of the characterization of your particular characters. I mean, when you initially get a script, do you see that person straight away, or do you need to get into it with sort of, the lines that they're going to deliver? How do you sort of build your character?
I think it depends. The production to production and script to script, it changes. Sometimes you get a script where the character is so just like there
Yeah.
and it's so explicit. And there are other times where you need to dig a little bit and get on Google and be like, what's this word? And do wacky things like decide she's a Taurus and Google what Tauruses are like and find some character there.
Okay, yeah.
And I think also being set in 1997 kind of gave us such a specific pinpoint, particularly as two teenage girls in the play, of being like, yes, Aurelia grew up in France. It's a slightly different experience, but still there was that cultural time, like fashion, music, kind of cultural moments. And we did a big thing in rehearsals, kind of working out the key things that happened in that year, the year of change, and how it would have influenced our character. And obviously, Emily, she's not politically minded, but she would have felt these kind of tensions. And I think with good writing, you're given such a fully fleshed character, but then it's nice to be able to go, I can add my own flair to it. And, my Emily will be different to everyone else's Emily. And that's great. And that's what's so lovely about playing a character. And yeah, I think also the more you do the show, you find new layers. Each
Yeah.
performance, you find another layer, and you go, oh, that's something that's fun to play. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's go to opening night then. I mean, how do you both feel about opening a show that you've worked so hard in the rehearsal room for?
It's always lovely because you've been honing, it's like a good sauce that you've been reducing and simmering away
Yeah.
and you've been really working to polish this thing. And suddenly there's an audience that are they especially on opening night, they're usually there with lots of warmth and
Yeah.
love and
Yeah.
understanding that it's your first go round and they're
Yeah.
just ready to receive and you're just so ready to share this lovely thing that we've collaborated on.
Mm.
And it's a very buzzy feeling,
Yeah.
very much.
Mm.
Have to try and manage your adrenaline sometimes.
Very
Nice
much
deep
so.
breath,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's all excitement.
Yeah. Yeah. As it should be. I mean, you're doing a
Yeah.
job that you love. And so,
Yeah.
you absolutely should have that feeling. And what's the audience reaction been like so far with this run?
It's been honestly a dream. It's been so positive, and what's so lovely about the park is because it's such an intimate space.
Mm.
As an audience member, you kind of feel like a voyeur into this living room, this intimate family drama, and I think it's there are moments of real light and joy and humor, and there are moments of real pain. And I think everyone has been at a family reunion, at Christmas or an
Yeah.
Easter, where you've sat through all of those moments. And I think there are some really touching story threads, sibling relationships, disability, race. And I think it's so interesting because every audience member has responded so warmly and felt so touched and so moved in a really visceral way, and they just want to talk to you about it, and they want to say like, oh, I had this family experience and I love this, and it's just so lovely because it does feel like you're sharing such an intimate experience but a really universal experience.
Yes, yeah. And my mum actually came and watched yesterday. And when
Oh.
she said she walked in and she was like, "Oh, I'm in someone's living room."
Yeah.
So between the set and also lots of the realism in all of those relationships,
Yeah.
it's you feel like you're there, you're with the family, and you're in that living room, you're in the heightened
Yeah.
moments and some of the quiet moments and the intimate moments. And because there is so much family and so many different relationships and dynamics, there's always something that an audience member can kind of relate to
Mm.
or latch to.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they let us know afterwards. They let us know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
Yes.
lovely.
Yes, I'm sure there's been lots of applause for you both, I'm sure. So the Park Theatre, as you mentioned, it's an intimate space. How do you've obviously both, worked in big venues, I'm sure. And what's it like with the audience being really that close to you? How do you feel performing in that
I mean,
space?
I can only speak. This is my theatre debut, so I haven't worked in a big theatre. I've been in big. I've been an
Amazing.
audience member in a big theatre, but I haven't. The park, I would, and Taneetrah's got better experience because she has worked in a big theatre. But I would say, for me, it's such an intimate venue in the sense that you can see every single audience member the moment you come on stage.
Mm.
And we've had friends and family who go, oh, I'm sitting in the back row, so you won't see me. And we're like, no, we come on stage, immediately can see you. But what's quite nice about that is that you can really feed off their energy. And like Taneetrah said, particularly on press night and all the nights really when you've got a supportive and warm audience who's laughing and really reacting, you can feel that. And it's like you're getting such a boost of energy and you can see their reactions and you see what's working. And it's sometimes we get laughs in places we haven't expected,
Yeah.
reactions where we've never, and it's nice to be able to have that kind of like, you can really see who's affected and kind of, you feel it's more of a personal connection with the audience, but it does, I think it makes it a bit more daunting.
But you're like, oh, you're really all here, aren't you?
You're very close.
And for me, I've my one previous credit, I was on a big stage
Yeah.
and there were lots and lots of seats and you do feel the audience, but they're kind of a blank wall of energy. You don't see any faces. There's no specific.
Yeah.
Like you take them with you on the journey, but you're just kind of holding their hand blindly and trusting that there's a body attached to the hand. But here you see the hand, you see the arm, you see their face, they're there,
Yeah.
they're with you.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice to have that flow of energy go back and forth and it's so clear because they're there.
Yeah, and we've had particularly, there are a couple of scenes. There's one scene where, not to spoil anything, but where we're playing a board game and somebody gets quite an obvious answer wrong. And we've had audience members gasping, shouting, no, that's not.
Oh,
And it's so
wow.
nice to be able to go, oh, they're involved.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're part of our living room. And it's
Yeah.
really, it's lovely.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. So let's just talk about how you sort of got into performing. So Ella, maybe start with you. I mean, was it always a passion? Is it always something that you've wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was probably quite inescapable. I come from a theatrical family, quite a creative family. I'm sure they were very desperate for me to pick a more, traditional, stable path, but I very much did not do that. I fell into it quite accidentally. I was 10 and I was picking my mum up from a radio job, and they asked me to tape for a role, and I got the lead. And then I did a lot of kind of radio and
Oh,
voice work growing up. I didn't go to drama school. I studied French at King's College London,
oh, wow.
um, which was great.
Yeah.
Lived in France for a year. But then I came out of it and I did a lot of voice work, lots of radio, lots of dubbing, little bits of theatre, little bits of that. And then I went to a workshop that my friend was running where a casting director was present who happened to be the wonderful Gabrielle Dawes, who's the casting director for this. And she asked me to come and audition. So
Oh, wow.
it was honestly, I feel incredibly, I feel like the fates has aligned for me. It's very kind.
Oh, that's a great story. What about you, Snetra?
Well, I don't come from a theatrical background, not at all. I'm a first generation of immigrants that hail from Jamaica, and we
Yeah.
just have been here chilling. But me, I came out of the womb and was like, Goo Goo Gaga, where's the stage? I've only ever wanted to tell stories. I was obsessed with the dress up box at school.
Yeah.
And I would be sat in my tiny little flat with my mum in Croydon watching EastEnders and Coronation Street and just living for the drama and desperately wanting to pretend to slap somebody in the face and tell them to get out of my pub. And I loved it. And school plays, anything I could get myself involved in where I was telling a story or playing a character or sharing something with people, I was obsessed with it and studied drama every turn. When they asked me what I wanted to do for my GCSEs, I was just like, just want to do drama. And they were like, no, you need to pick other things. I was like, just want to do drama. And I was lucky to have some very supportive people in my supportive teachers and adults in my life. My mum, who's always just been like, whatever you want to do, we're going to do it 100%.
Yeah.
And drama teachers who've said to me, you're quite good actually. And said, oh, have you heard of drama school? And I was like, no. And they were happy to induct me and kind
Yeah.
of help me figure out the lay of the land. And then auditioned and things aligned and had my first job at Harry Potter, which was lovely. Then was
Yeah.
out of work for ages. And now I'm
Right.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose that's the highs and the lows of, your particular career, isn't it? Like,
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
could be in the West End one minute and then out of work for a bit, but you're doing brilliantly well in the Gathered Leaves. So it's on till the 20th of September at the
it
Park
is.
Theatre. So why not tell everybody why they should come and visit?
I think it's a play that makes you feel so many beautiful emotions it feels very safe, it feels very beautiful, it feels very touching. I think, it's set over one weekend in 1997 over the birthday weekend of the grandfather, William, played by the wonderful Jonathan Hyde. And it's just about connection. It's about family. It's incredibly painful. It's incredibly beautiful. You've got such a stellar cast at the helm with Jonathan Hyde and Joanne Pierce, and then you've got amazing other cast members. And you can tell that everyone on stage loves each other and supports each other and feeds off the energy. And I just think it's a real piece of gold.
Mm.
I love it.
I'd
Yeah.
say for the performances alone, it's worth making the trip and coming because I sit sometimes I almost miss cues because I'm listening to the tannoy, I'm listening to these gorgeous performances that people have brought so much of their own lived experience to, so much of their truth to, such authentic, gorgeous moments.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. I love the
Yeah.
show. Of course, I'm biased, but
Yeah, of course.
I
No,
love it.
I'm sure it's fantastic. So I'll pop on the next slide where people can get their tickets from. But thank you for your time today. It's been a pleasure to chat to you both.
It's been
Thank
lovely to
you.
chat to you. Thank you so
Thanks so much
much.
for having
Okay,
us.
okay, you're very welcome. Take care.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.